running. Everybody stay calm.
What's the procedure, everyone? What's the procedure?
Stay calm.
Tottenham Hotspur and RB Leipzig have agreed a deal to sign Timo Werner. He's going on loan for till the end of this season, and he's got a buy deal for only 20 million, which is pretty cheap for that sort of player. I think he's a really good signing for Spurs. I think that the attributes he brings, I think he will definitely work for Spurs. He's very energetic, and Spurs press from the front. He never stops running, so pressing from the front is going to be a lot easier for Spurs with him doing that. He's only 27 years old as well, so if it works, they can keep him because it's quite a cheap buy-on deal with only 20 million. It's the sort of money that Spurs have, to be honest. So if it does work by the end of the season, then they can easily go and buy him. It's a very cheap buy-on deal. There's no problems with it, to be honest. I think it's a very good signing. I know Man U are in for that, but we're going to talk about that in a bit. It also means that they have, for their front three, those three positions, they now have 5 options in all 3 positions. They have Son, Kulusevski, Johnson, Richarlison, and now Timo Werner, and that's a very good 5 options you'd want in that front 3. And they've gone into this transfer window, and they've gone in ambitiously, and I think there's more signings to come for Spurs. I think they do need them with their injury crisis, and there's no massive risk really to this sort of signing. I think Timo Werner, as I've said, I think he will really work at Spurs. And there's usually risk with players when you buy him for like a 50 million, but when doing this sort of type of thing, putting him on loan and then getting a cheap buy-on deal, I think they've done very well out of this, and I think Timo Werner will be a good player for them. I know he was sort of known at Chelsea as the player that just misses all these big chances, but I guess like if Haaland misses a big chance, it's Timo Haaland. If Antonio misses a big chance sometimes for West Ham, we say Timo Antonio. It's the sort of name that he's been put under, I guess you could say. But then also, I guess Núñez is sort of labelled as that player as well. And would Spurs take Darwin Núñez? Of course, they would in the blink of an eye, They'd no hesitation if they had Núñez. But I think the January transfer window can really dictate how teams finish the season and go into the end of the season, because it's such a crucial opportunity to get players you need, especially with teams' injury crises, if that's how you even say it, with Spurs having, obviously I know Maddison was out, Van der Ven, Romero's probably going to get a few more red cards, let's be honest, so he will be out as well. And I think Spurs, with all them injuries, I know Maddison was a big blow for them. They really needed the transfer window, so it's come at a really good time for Spurs. And Timo Werner's played in the Premier League before, so he's used to it. And I think it's good that he doesn't have the pressure of being that 20-30 goals a season player. At Chelsea, it was at the time he joined Chelsea was when they were fighting for titles, and they got him, and he needed to be this top class Premier League striker. He's not got that pressure at Spurs, and Spurs aren't Spurs aren't the side that are gonna be challenging for titles. Probably not this season. So he's not got an enormous amount of pressure. They're 5th at the moment. They're 1 point behind Arsenal in 4th, and they're 5 points clear from West Ham. So they're in a pretty comfortable position. I know it only takes a few dodgy games to do that, but they've really started the transfer window well, and I do think there's more signings to come for Tottenham Hotspur. And I think it's exciting for Spurs fans. I think that they can... Well, I mean, not for us, because I think Timo Werner will work. You never know, he could be a flop. He could be a complete flop and miss tons of chances, and they'll end up having to play Richarlison over them. But I don't think he will be. I think without the pressure that he had at Chelsea of needing to be a top class striker, I think he'll be a good player. So yeah, it's very exciting for Spurs fans. And now, obviously, Man United were in the mix of getting Timo Werner as well. I know Man United maybe wouldn't have had that sort of money, so although they could have got him on, they could have done what Spurs did and got them on loan and then had a cheap buy-on deal. I think Man United have missed out. And I think I partly say that because I think anything will do at the moment for Manchester United, especially if they could have got this deal. Timo Werner, I know you could give Højlund time, but Timo Werner will come in and be a better striker than Højlund and be in the starting 11 every single week. So I do think Man United have missed out on him. But yeah, get your thoughts in the comments on what you think of this transfer. And yeah, Spurs have got Timo Werner at the end of the season. See you next time. Goodbye.